Hello, everyone, once again, and welcome back to the podcast. This is the Ready, Set, Live podcast, focusing on the purpose and the power of your potential. I am your host, Captain Rex Whitcamp. It's an honor and a privilege to be with you today. This topic today gets me really excited about several things, but namely, this is the flagship core philosophy moving forwards in a course that I designed. And it's available on Teachable. And it's featuring what I like to call a subject area that I entitle the 5 Tenets. Now, a tenet is a core belief or a philosophy that is true. And I believe this information is very helpful and very necessary today. And so we're talking about the 5 Tenets today. So quickly, the tenets are how to rise, number one, how to rise above mediocrity. Number 2, how to elevate your standards. Number 3, how to visualize the absolute best version of yourself. Number 4, how to learn to live up to your highest potential. And number 5, finally, giving purpose for your true potential in life. So we're going to run through these really quick and make this digestible packet of information super valuable for you. Thanks again for your time. Let's dive right in. Rising above mediocrity. And while they say that the familiarity is the land of the dead, I like to say that mediocrity is the enemy of achievement in life. And so in order to achieve your greatness that lies within, everyone has a greatness within them. One must first be unsettled with the current state of affairs and current state of things going on. In other words, the status quo. Get rid of the status quo. If it's not broken, break it, shatter it, completely demolish the status quo. And you'll figure out that other things are possible in order to achieve the next level in your life. So whether a change is necessary in work or school or your personal life or even in professional situations, relationships, collaborations, idea centers, brainstorming projects, one must operate from a level that is above mediocrity. You see, because creativity, it begins where the mediocrity ends. And the fertile grounds of growth for achieving new levels, it demands that mediocrity be left behind immediately. Commit to making the commitment to rid your life of mediocrity at every level. And here's some of the ways that we can rise above that mediocrity. All right. Some of the best minds and brightest minds from the different eras in history give their thoughts on mediocrity. And I'm just going to read a couple of these quotes, and I want you to listen to them, and I want you to let them sink in and establish the first core tenet of these philosophies, and that is how to rise above mediocrity. So General George Patton said, anyone in a walk of life who is content with mediocrity is untrue to himself. C.S. Lewis, famous author, had said, something deep in the human heart breaks at the thought of a life of mediocrity. Dr. Steve Maraboli says, stop letting your fear condemn you to mediocrity. And the only way to get out of mediocrity is to keep shooting for excellence. That's from Eric Thomas, another famous speaker. And I'm going to run through a couple of more. A life of mediocrity is a waste of time. Don't waste your life. No one chooses mediocrity, but many settle for it. Never settle. Be fearful of mediocrity. Don't settle for mediocrity. Take a chance. Take a risk. Find that passion. Rekindle it. Fall in love with it over and over again. It's really worth it. And being realistic is the most common path to mediocrity. Being realistic is the most common path to mediocrity. The less you associate with some people, the more your life will improve. Anytime you tolerate mediocrity in others, it increases your mediocrity. An important attribute in successful people is their impatience with negative thinking and negative acting people. Jealousy is the tribute mediocrity pays to genius, and you are born into genius. But have you resigned yourself to mediocrity? And they talked about the mediocrity of a provincial life so suffocating, so fatal to all of notable dreams. Don't follow the crowd into a life of mediocrity. Take the road less traveled and live your dreams. Do it with enthusiasm. Without enthusiasm, you are doomed to live a life of mediocrity. But with it, you can accomplish miracles. Beware of the mediocrity that threatens the middle age, its limitations of thought and interest, its dullness of fancy, its too external life and mental thinness. Passionately protest mediocrity. Wow, just a power pack of information there from brilliant minds of all walks of life, from generals to writers to anonymous quotes, that just reveals the true importance of rising above mediocrity. And while we're rising above, we're talking about elevating our standards, moving right into the second tenet, elevating your standards. And it's time to get on that next level in your life. And in order to move forward, I'd like to say that you're moving onward, moving upward. And then it's time to take a look at your standards. If you've ever wondered who is dedicated to make a change in their physique, just look at somebody who's a bodybuilder. I mean, it's clearly evident that bodybuilders, they elevate their standards higher for themselves, and they do that in order to achieve the results that are obvious to everyone. And if we apply the same principle to any area of our lives, then it becomes a natural resort. It becomes a natural result of our efforts. And then in order to create and enjoy the results, we must first elevate our standards. You want to make a change? Start by looking at your standards, take it to the next level, and elevate yourself to that next level of standard. So in that last section, we were talking about mediocrity, but here we learn to continue our operations center and the command and control center for our lives by elevating our standards. Take a look at what frustrates you in your life, in your job, in your health, in your paycheck, your relationships with your family, with your friends. Maybe it's the car you drive, or you're upset about the neighborhood you live in, or the things that are going on in your community, in your life. Let me tell you, folks, if there's any indication of frustration in any area of your lives, well, then congratulate yourself, because this frustration is an outright acknowledgement that you have risen to a level of self-awareness, to a point that you now operate above that level of mediocrity. You've already completed step one by becoming self-aware, and now it's time to elevate your standards and do something about it. So it's time to demand more for your life. You see, if you demand more from yourself to exceed and expand your skills, things will get better. Things will change. You must start by demanding more from yourself to make a change for the better in your physique, in your life, in your career, in your relationships, in your frustrations of life. Demand more from yourself to associate with better quality people. It's been referred to as OQP, only quality people in your life. If people are a level of life ahead of you, you got to get on their level. And then once you do, you got to bring others up to that level, because the only proper way to move forward is to get on the next level and continue forward and bring others with you, because you only rise when you bring others with you in life. And that's how it goes. Demand, resolve that you can make a difference in your relationship, your community, your neighborhood, in your life. And now I'm going to feature a couple of quotes here. I'm just going to pause. If you want to make a change in your life, you have to raise your standards. By Mr. none other than Tony Robbins. You see, you have to raise your standards to create change. And what are the keys to success? Change the status quo. Raise your standards. Never apologize for having high standards. People who really want to be in your life, they will rise up to meet them. Raise your standards and the universe will begin to meet you there. Never lower your standards to fit in with other people. We only get what we believe we deserve. You see, when you raise the bar, raise your standards, and you will receive a better outcome. Raise your standards and you will rise along with them. When you set standards and stick to them, there will be people in your life who will fall away. Let them go. Let them go or be dragged. Raise your standards to exceed your expectations. The quality of a leader is reflected by the standards that they set for themselves. Demand more for yourself on a daily basis to make your dreams a reality. Let your grind be a reflection of the standards that you have set for yourself. Make it clear to everyone. They don't look at you and see you. They see the elevation and the protection of the standards that you have set for yourself. That's what the image is that you want people to see when they see you. They want to see standards. I once heard of a man who once complained because he had no shoes. And then it was awful to think that I complained about seeing a man who had no shoes until I saw a man who had no class. You gotta have class. You gotta have standards. Raise those standards and promote that level of image for yourself, and others will rise. The right people will rise to meet you there. You have to refuse to lower your standards to accommodate those who refuse to raise theirs. Whoa. Let your actions prove that you're committed to living a life on a new level. Get rid of the people and the thoughts that confine you to an average existence. You're not average. You weren't born for average. Raise your standards and aim for your greatness. Love yourself enough to know that you're going to never lower your standards for anyone, for any reason. Such a great packet of information there. And part of that visualization of yourself that begins by elevating your standards, you begin to look at yourself in a new way. And this is the part that rolls right into the third tenet. It's how to visualize the best version of yourself. And listen, I like you, but I love me some me. You see, how to visualize the best version of yourself, you have to be the Don King of you, your own promoter. Introduce yourself to yourself as the greatest self that has ever lived. Take stock in yourself now, and you have to know your self-worth, even when others don't. In the previous sessions, we learned that the importance of rising up to above your mediocrity and levels of standard status quo, the importance of elevating our standards. From here, the goal is to begin an active process of visualization. The power of visualization, it falls in the realm of dreams, and it is imperative that you understand how important dreaming and the use of your imagination becomes to fulfilling your greatness, because it all lies with the process of visualization, visualizing the best version of yourself. This will require your deep imagination and your creative side, the creative side of your thinking, and in order to manifest itself. You see, first, you imagine what your life would look like doing what it is that brings you the most happiness, the most fulfillment. Imagine yourself watching the greatest movie of all time, and you are the star of the movie. You're also the director of the script, and you're in charge of writing this script. You see, this story unfolds, and it shows you living your best life. Perhaps it means that you wear a cape for this adventure. I don't know. Maybe you're a superhero. I think we should all see ourselves as superheroes in some fashion, in some resort in our lives, if we want to accomplish the major tasks that we want to accomplish, and even the little things too. It's how you view and visualize yourself. Perhaps you want to travel the world, do whatever it is that's most pleasing to you, whatever or however that you can imagine doing your life movie. Keep it in mind, and when money can be no object for your movie budget, you have unlimited potential, unlimited resources. A favorite mentor of mine, Mr. Les Brown, the world's foremost motivational speaker, said that a dog can't be anything but a dog, and a tree can't be anything but a tree. But you're a human. You have unlimited potential in your life. Visualize that best version of yourself. And we're going to move towards reading a couple of quotes here and letting them sink in deep down in your soul. Visualization is daydreaming, but with a purpose. Visualize your success and then take action. Visualize the most amazing life imaginable to you. Close your eyes. Do it now. See it clearly. Then hold the vision for as long as you can. Now place that vision in God's hands and consider it done. When you visualize, then you materialize. You must first visualize, then you materialize. Visualize, materialize. Visualize, materialize. Losers visualize the penalties of failure. Winners visualize the rewards of their success. You are the most productive by doing 15 minutes of visualization than from 16 hours of hard labor. You have to choose your hard. It's not that hard. Go inside your mind. Go inside your being, your thought, your creative center. Do it now. Do it. Set aside 15 minutes of your day. If you can't do that, do 10. If not, it's worth it to do 5. Everybody got 5 minutes. Come on. You got 5 minutes. Give yourself that productive edge by going and visualizing for yourself that best version of yourself, and do that. And it's easier to do that, and you're more productive than from a whole day's work of extremely hard labor. Choose your hard in life. I believe in creative visualization. To bring anything into your life, imagine that it's already there. I train myself mentally with visualization, and it's part of the power center of my being. It's part of what makes me the best of who I can become. And it's an evolving constant process that takes time to dig what it is and find what it is that's the best in your life. And if you can't and don't like what it is, imagine it can be better, and then bring yourself there in your mind, and your body will take the rest of the steps there to get there. You see, I believe that visualization is one of the most powerful means of achieving your personal goals. Visualizing information can give us quick solutions to problems, and we can get clarity to the answer to these simple problems very quickly. Proper visualization by the exercise of concentration and willpower, it enables us to materialize our thoughts, not only as dreams or visions in the mental realm, but also as experiences in the material realm. Visualize what you want to do before you do it. Visualization, it's so powerful that when you know what you want, you will get it. Make sure you visualize what you really want, not what someone else wants for you. Don't live by other people's goals for your life. Visualization, it may be the most important part of your mental package. I would visualize things coming to me, and it makes me feel better. Visualization, it works, and it only works if you work hard. That's the thing. You can't just visualize and go and eat a sandwich. You must visualize it in your head and be that experience first. The clearer you are when you visualize your dreams, the greater the spotlight will be that'll lead you on the right path. Visualization is a belief, and it's in a belief in a pattern of reality, and that activates the creative power of realization. You must first realize, then visualize, then you will realize, which is in turn a materialization of that effect. Visualization, visualize this thing that you want. See it, feel it, believe it, be about it. Make your mental blueprint. You are the architect of this, and then begin to build. You can't do anything that you can't picture yourself doing. Once you make the picturing process conscious and deliberate, you begin to create the self that you want to be. Look at these things not as if they are, but visualize them for what they could be. It adds value to everything. A bigger thinker always visualizes what can be done in the future, and he's not stuck with the present. Here's one context that it's important to know now as I take a break from these quotes. Just think that everything that exists, every material object, every invention, every building, every car, every design and design change, everything that is in the world exists currently because it first started as an imaginative thought in somebody's head. All things that were so in a visualized realm before they became to the materialistic version of that manifestation of what it was in a vision. So use that part of your brain, and I urge and implore you that how important it is to visualize the best version of yourself. And I'm going to break here, and I'm going to go into our very next version, a version and vision for our lives, and that's talking about potential. The purpose that we have our potential is to fulfill the goal, the character traits, and fulfill our purposes here on earth. Everybody has a purpose, and everybody has a potential to push towards that purpose. They go hand in hand, purpose and potential. Because you have a purpose, you also have potential for that purpose. Now, whether or not people take the active steps of rising above mediocrity, elevating their standards, and visualizing the best version of themselves, now that becomes a mission of fulfilling that potential and using that potential to fulfill that purpose that you were designed to do. So it has been said that we should be ashamed to die until we have won some major victory for all of humanity. So there's a certain tragedy in untapped potential. The kind that we could have cured a disease or an illness, coronavirus or cancer, written a best-selling novel, or we could have invented and patented an idea that propelled all of humanity light years into the future. And it's the kind of tragedy that becomes a song that everybody knows or could have known and everybody sang to. But the real tragedy is that these real would-be triumphs never came to fruition because people did not seek the value of living up to their highest potential. My goal is to impress upon you that the utter tragedy of not understanding these dangers of keeping a potential, keeping them hidden from the world. Start with a relaxed belief that we all came to the universe to accomplish this mission, a mission. Within our lifetimes, we only have a certain amount of time to live. Stop living like you have 1,000 years to live. And while great people who knew this, they will be remembered throughout all of history, the others, they fall quietly and sadly into the obscurity of the forgotten. The number one thing that the nurses will say, that their patients reveal to them while they're on their deathbed, is that these people wish they had done something, done more with their lives. Imagine being at the end of life and regretting that you could have and should have done more with your life. In the end, one's use and fulfillment of their potential, it is the fuel that burns the flame of the contribution to human existence that the world deserves to know. Start living up to your highest potential. I'm going to read a couple quotes to you, and I want these quotes to sink down deep into your soul as I read them aloud to you. Potential is a priceless treasure, like gold. All of us have gold hidden within, but we have to dig and get it out. Continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking your potential. It takes work. There is no man living who isn't capable of doing more than he thinks he can do. And to reach your greatest potential, you'll have to fight your greatest fears. There is no paycheck that can equal the feeling of contentment that comes from being the person that you were meant to be. Leadership is unlocking people's potential to become better. Our potential lies between what is and what could be. We have the potential to be anything that you want. It means if you don't do, potential means nothing. Potential means nothing if you don't do anything with it. You see, the will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your full potential, these are the keys that will unlock the door to your personal excellence. Exploit your potential every single day. The obsession with instant gratification, it blinds us from our long-term potential. Don't set limits on your unlimited potential. Society already does that for you. That's what we have to shed and guard ourselves against. To uncover your true potential, you must first find your own limits, and then you have to have the courage to blow past them. Don't squander your potential living a life that amounts to far less than the one that you deserve and that you're capable of living. One of the main reasons people fail to reach their full potential is because they're unwilling to risk anything. Stop limiting your potential. Realize that there's an unlimited amount of things that you can do with your life. Uncommon things can be done by common people. Believe in your infinite potential. Your only limitations are those that you set upon yourself. And if you do not train hard, you will never fulfill your potential. The mind is like a like any other organism in your body, a part of your muscles, your groups. And it is totally rational to think that you can strengthen your muscles to get better and stronger. You can also strengthen your mind. Believe that it's possible and achieve the purpose and potential of your life by fulfilling the requirements of rising above your mediocrity, elevating your standards, visualizing the best version of yourselves, then taking action here and now to promote the best version of yourself. Live your potential. Your inner potential cannot develop without your willingness and your conscious participation. It takes a conscious effort. Limitless is your potential, yet magnificent is your future. Potential can only materialize into achievement when and if you allow it. Nowadays, true job satisfaction and happiness, it's about fulfilling your full potential, tapping into your own creativity and feeling that you can make a difference and knowing it too. The tragedy of life is what dies inside a man while he's still living. Some people die at age 21 inside, and they don't really die until they're 65 or 70 years old. What a tragedy to live a life that's meaningless and doesn't fulfill your potential and exploit your purpose for the rest of us. Look past the exterior and see that there is so much more within. Then decide to unleash that potential to its fullest maximum power. Most rules are made by people with no authority who want to control and limit you from reaching your true potential. Ignore them, break the rules, shadow them, wave at them as you soar past into your greatness. Only you hold the key to your true potential. Your untapped potential is the difference between where a person is now and where he or she could be. Success is knowing your purpose in life, growing to reach your maximum potential, and sowing the seeds that benefit others. Treating your success as an option is one of the major reasons why people don't create it for themselves, and why most people don't even get close to living up to their full potential. Your friends will believe in your potential. Your enemies will make you live up to it. There is no heavier burden than an unfulfilled potential. Fear and doubt have always been the greatest enemies of human potential. And remember, if you succeed in everything that you try in life, you're living below your full potential. You should seek to take up more difficult and daring things. It's never going to be easy. But living your life of true fulfillment according to your purpose and aligned with your passion has a beautiful feeling of comfort and relief and reward to it. So we're going to talk about giving purpose for that potential. And I've brought myself, by long meditation, to the conviction that a human being with a settled purpose must accomplish it, and that nothing can resist the will which will stake even its existence upon its fulfillment. That's a very famous quote by Benjamin Disraeli, talking about the will of a people, and where even people that are resolved to stake their existence upon it, nothing can resist that. It's also been said that there is no defense against an excellence that meets a pressing public need. The world needs your attention. It needs your fulfillment of your potential to benefit the rest of us. Imagine, if you will, there's a captain on a crew with a ship, and they have a designated port. They have a definite mission to fulfill. They have a ship, a captain, a crew, a mission, and they are ready to set sail. Well, with all the clear pieces in mind, 9,999 times out of 10,000, the ship will reach its destination. It has a known cause. It has a reason for being, a purpose in its existence. Now, conversely, imagine that same ship. We don't give it a captain. It has no crew, no destination, port of arrival, and it has no mission to fulfill. We just merely start the engines and untie her. Arguably, the ship would either sink, fail to leave the harbor, or get stranded, run aground, become derelict, and marooned somewhere unplanned. The same is true of our own lives, and if we have no stated purpose to fulfill our potential, we are aiming for disaster straight ahead. You see, in life, we are the people. We're one of three people. You are either leading the way, or you're following the way, or you, my friend, are in the way. If you're just following the way, you must know now that your potential buried deep inside of you, it's capable of so much more, go back and learn the previous tenets. And if you're in that way, if you're in the way, decide to make a decision. You're in the way because you can't make a decision. Left, right, up, down, straight ahead, back, behind. You can't do anything. You're stuck in life. Decide to make a decision. Even not a decision is still a decision. Consider these two quotes by two men who were ironically, they shared the last name, but they were not related. A person not able of making prompt decisions is a person unable to carry out important assignments. Andrew Carnegie. And a person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. Dale Carnegie. Ironically, they were not related, but they have incredible insight relating to this very topic. Give purpose for your potential. You have potential. Now it's time to laser focus and give purpose for it. You see, life is not found between the isms and the schisms of life. It's time to quit the paralysis of analysis. Jump in with both feet. Go all in. Here we go. When you couple your potential with your purpose, the universe will unfold for you. Although this comes with a strict warning, because almost assuredly, all dreams will be tested for authenticity. You see, we have learned to rise above our mediocrity. We have learned to elevate our standards. We have learned to visualize the best versions of ourselves and to live up to our highest potential. Now you are armed and ready for battle. And you got to get laser focused on your energy and give purpose for your potential. Woo! Say it with me. The 5 tenets in my life have escaped me for so long. And I am ready to live the 5 tenets out to fulfill my true purpose and my potential for the benefit of all. Thank you everyone for listening today. It's been an absolute honor and a privilege to bring you this content. Stay tuned, subscribe, like, share, tag, reach out, because we're going to take our lives to the next level. We're going to fulfill our potential. We're going to utilize our skills. And if not, we're going to learn more skills. And then we're going to fulfill our purpose, because that's what we were designed to do. I'm Captain Rex Whitcamp signing off for the day. Reach out and I would love to hear from you soon. Have a great day.